GURL, a regular read of the latest LGBT plus trends, TV, and the ever-expanding world of drag. Hello there, I'm the Velvet Snatch, and welcome to this, Season 4 of GURL. As usual, we have a full house today, and I'm joined with Thotter Stu.
Hello, sexy bald lady. How are you doing?
I quite like that I went up at the end there, like it was a question. Thotter Stu? Are you?
Are you Thotter anymore? Are you Stu anymore? Some days I don't know. I've been on night shifts for 3 weeks, so I don't know who the fuck I am at the minute.
What's the ideal ratio between Thotterism and Stewism?
70% Thotter, 30% Stu.
That's fair enough.
It's all about branding.
And of course, Jim Bunny, Glenn, Kevin.
Hello, hello.
How are you
How's
feeling?
life? Oh, I'm good. I'm just counting down to return to the second home. Dieting like mad, like right now. I've tried to keep myself like below 1,700 calories, and I get so hungry on a night. It's scary.
It's really tough. It's really. I tried to cut sugar out of my diet for like 2 weeks, and I was like, "Whoa, this is withdrawal." Like it's really difficult changing your diet.
Yeah, when the other half goes to the pub, like after work, like 'cause he works from home full time, so he goes off there, and then I'm at home, and I'm like, be home by 7:30, and he comes back at 7:31. I'm like, where were you?
We need to eat. And we are joined by two wonderful guests. Now, you might know them from Season 3 of RuPaul's Drag Race UK. We are joined by the wonderful Anubis and Charity Kase. How are you doing, my dears? Anubis first.
Hello. I begin with A, so I'm always first. Hello. I'm good. How are you guys, gals? Everything in between?
We're good. We're excited for your upcoming tour. I mean, it's quite surprising. We were just like, oh, where's this come from? What a crazy idea. But I actually kind of fucking love it. Like, are you excited about it, Charity?
Hello. Yes, I'm very, very excited. It's something that we've spoken about doing for a long time, actually, for the last couple of years. Even since the show together, we said, wouldn't it be really cool to put something up together that we've created ourselves without any input from a production company or a team behind us. So yeah, it's really exciting to finally bring it to life.
It's gonna be a good one. Even just the artwork for it got us excited, to be honest. So
oh, thank you.
It's a good start.
I mean, I literally we've done everything ourselves for this tour, so we're very, very proud, including our artwork, the concept, and booking the venues and creating the events online and all of the press and everything. So yeah, we're very excited to finally bring it to life together.
Like you're saying though, with when the production team handles it, you kind of feel like you're not able to personalize it as much. Like it does sound like you've very much been very hands-on and been like, hey, let's make this us,
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the biggest thing about what we wanted to do with the tour, because I feel like a lot of the time with drag, I don't know about Charity, but I can speak for myself. I feel like a lot of the time I feel quite restricted with what I can do with my drag, with certain gigs or venues and stuff like that. And I feel like it's a real opportunity to kind of have total creative freedom and just do everything I've wanted to do since Drag Race. I've kind of been sitting on so many ideas and outfits and kind of concepts for performances. And I'm kind of just tired of waiting around, for someone to pick me up and say, oh, I want to do this, and instead of doing that, we've kind of just, done it all ourselves and stuck our teeth right into it. So, yeah, I think that's the best part about it for me. What about you, Charity?
Yeah, I think, we're kind of doing this at a time where it's necessary in our industry as well, I think the drag world, has provided an opportunity for some people, some individuals to come and take advantage of artists in our world and on our level. And it's kind of difficult when the scene is taken over by that and monopolized. So I think it's really, really important that we do try and step out of that toxic environment and toxic workforce and we move towards a place where, we are all informed about not only the money that's being made with the show that we're performing at, but the money that's being divided around and how much people are being charged. And it should be fair. It shouldn't be beyond the books or just left obscure, like in the air, and this is something that I felt for a long time, and I've experienced with certain performance booking companies, and I think it's really, really important that we do our bit to step out of that. So that also is like, you know, a big source behind why we want to do this ourselves, and why we're taking on the huge, massive job of self-producing a tour.
I think
what
it's
we
absolutely
like.
wonderful. I really feel like this is the way to go for a lot of people, because like you say, when you get promoters, they have their own idea of what drag is, and they kind of go, hey, these are where I'm putting you, this is what we're kind of expecting. And you're like, oh, but I want to do this, and then, you know, the reason you got into it, the art, becomes the you know, gets put in the back seat, you know.
It's almost
Yeah,
like there's an
definitely.
elephant in the room for promoters. In the room,
Don't
you
hold
know?
back, Stu. Don't go on.
Oh, I'm not holding back. People deserve to get paid, is all I will say.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair
People do deserve to get paid, but again, it's even more than that. People deserve to get to know about what percentage is being taken out of what they're being paid. And you know, I've worked many jobs where I've had no idea. I'm gonna say that right now, and that's not good enough, to be honest. That's someone taking advantage of me. And realistically, if we're going to talk about it, I mean, I'm no lawyer, but I'm pretty sure that seems a bit like fraud, you know,
Yeah.
to not inform somebody of the cut that they're taking on the benefit of your work. Like, I don't know. I'm not accusing anybody of fraud, of course not. That's not my intention here. But I'm just saying, like, this drag world that has developed in the UK, and I'm sure all over the world, provides an opportunity for people to take advantage of artists who, you know, we don't work with money and accounting, and like, that's not what we do. We're drag queens, we're performers, we're artists, and doing all of that is difficult. Being self-employed is difficult, and we don't know nothing about it. No one teaches you about it. So, you know, it's
Wait,
like, it's really, really important that we're not taken advantage of like this.
well, it's a respect thing as well. It's the fact of, you're just like, hey, look, I've hired you in order, you know, to respect me enough to treat me properly and not try to cheat me out of things, and to, you know, keep me in the loop of things, because money is the last thing you want to think about when you're a performer, but you just want to kind of be able to trust that you're going to be paid properly for what you're doing. And, you know, that's their whole job. Their whole job is to, you know.
And also, like, you know, we are our own managers, we are our own bookers, we are our own everything. Like, we do it all ourselves. We do our own, like, spreadsheets on our own taxes, and we keep track of our own income and our own expenses. And it's not an easy thing to be doing. So on top of that, to have people like who are using it as an opportunity to take advantage of people who, like I say, this is probably new to a lot of people who are doing drag, and it's not an easy topic to discuss. We aren't taught about how to do your self-assessment tax return in school. Like, there's a lot of like admin and stuff that goes into having a job like this, and so it's really important that, you know, we try and take back some control of that sort of side of things, of the financial side of things. So yeah, that's another reason why we decided to go on the road together.
Now, we'll talk about the tour a little bit more later, but we'll just want to get into some stuff about you both personally for a moment now.
Obviously, charity first and foremost. I think everyone's aware of it, but official congratulations from us on the marriage.
Thank
It
you
was
so much. Thank you.
beautiful to see. Honestly, all the pictures that you've been posting, there's a height of jealousy, because they're all just stunning.
Oh, thank you.
They're really, really cute. How is life as a married demon?
It's pretty similar to life as an engaged demon. I'm not gonna lie, nothing changes much. Except sometimes I remember to put on my ring after the bath, and sometimes I don't. And that's something I'll get used to, I hope. But you know, demons can be forgetful. And yeah, it's really lovely having someone that's like committed to me and wants the best for me. And I've come a long way in terms of self-love and self-care, you know, which is also really, really important in these circumstances, and in any relationship. You've got to be able to like really know yourself and love yourself. So yeah, I think that's really helped me get to the place that I'm at today, in terms of being a married monster under the bed.
You've got the glow. You've definitely got the glow. Like that.
Thank you very much.
Everything's starting to go the right way. The self-care is
Aw,
kicking in.
you.
So
Thank you.
I mean,
good.
I do
to
like
be
it,
fair, speaking of glow, both of you look absolutely amazing today. I know
Oh,
of
yeah.
you. I know our listeners can't see it, but like I feel very underdressed in terms of hair and tattoos right now.
well, you should ask Anubis what I was wearing about 3 minutes before we jumped on the call, because in our meeting I'm sat there with my hair scraped up, my sleep still in my eyes, and my dressing gown on. Oh my god, we're doing this.
Have you got a favourite memory that you've shared with the other half so far?
Probably somewhere in Brazil. Like after we got married, we went straight to Brazil and we did São Paulo and Rio de Janeiro and Salvador in Bahia, and it was honestly like a dream come true. I've never been anywhere like that. It was genuinely like paradise on like white sand beaches and like the clearest, like most turquoise water. So that was honestly amazing. And yeah, just seeing his family and his culture and traveling around Brazil and being immersed like that was something that, I never envisioned happening to myself. And I love traveling. I love experiencing new things. And, not everything was better out there. I mean, in Brazil, you can't flush the toilet paper that you use. So there's like a bin next to the toilet and you have to put your used toilet paper in the toilet bin. And so that was, there's some things I was like, okay, really, I'm doing this. But rest of the time it was fun, just going to the toilet was not something to get excited about.
That sounds amazing. Now, Anubis, like you've recently released your debut album. Like it's called Rebirth.
It is called
I don't know
Rebirth,
how you pronounce it. You know when you've got like three eyes, it's like, is it Rebirth or is it Rebirth? Or is it, or do you need to put a glitch in it? So it's like Rebirth.
Yeah, you just have to say it for hours long. Rebirth, you just sit there.
That's it. Just keep going. Every new album's going to get a couple more eyes in it. And it's just like, well, eventually, it's like it's loading. But
yeah, I might do a couple more vowels for album 2 or 3. I'm not sure yet.
A bit like Adele. Like
just milk it.
Yeah,
but how's the reaction been so far?
Yeah, it's been fab. It's kind of a project that I worked on the side for a lot of this year. It's kind of always been something I've wanted to do, to be honest, since I was like maybe 11 or 12. I've always wanted to like release an album because I've always wrote songs and, loved music. That's always been my other passion aside from drag. It's what I've always known and made money from. So I wanted to really sink my teeth into that this year, my little vampire teeth. So yeah, I kind of dug up some songs from when I was like 14, 15, rewrote some of the lyrics after a couple major things that had kind of happened this year to me in my personal life. And yeah, just kind of took some time. And it was almost like therapy, just kind of having that time to myself and like really writing down everything that I had to process the last couple years and just like growing up, like obviously I was on the show as a teenager and I'm now, still very young, but, I'm turning 23. And yeah, it's kind of a strange time in my life, but it was a really nice way to kind of release all my emotions and also, connect with my fans that have, been through similar things and similar experiences to me. And I feel like that's been a real reward from releasing the album, because no matter how many streams or whatever, I feel like that's always been my intention with music, has always been wanting to connect with people through something that I've always loved so much. So yeah, it's been wonderful. Thank you.
I mean, to be fair, the whole album felt to me like a catharsis, basically. Like you even end the album, the last bit of the album is you saying, "Oh, thank you for listening," as though it was like, hey, I needed to get this out of my system, so I don't know if it's been any good, but thanks for actually letting me do this. And I've had drag performances like that where you just go, you have no idea what just happened, but I really needed to do that. Thank you.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, because I feel like that was my whole thought process was just trying to like get everything out that I needed to. Like that really was the goal, It wasn't to release a fierce, sickening diva track for the club, honey, because if it was, I would have done something majorly different. I wouldn't have sat with an R&B drum beat and this jazz guitar. But, it was just something for me to indulge in. Honestly, it was just like a real project that I love doing. And it's been one of my highlights of the year. So, yeah, I do appreciate that. But I mean it, I do really appreciate people taking the time to listen, because there's so much content to digest nowadays, and there's so many Rue girls and so many franchises, and I think a lot of people find it quite hard to keep up with us.
I had to survive Glenn's Rue Girl playlist on the way to DragCon this year, and I was just like, how much fucking drag music is there? You know?
Yeah, there is a lot, girl. There is a lot. I wanted to make music, you know. That was my intention, was to not do the typical drag music that you hear, but maybe to kind of show off some other skills of pop or jazz and R&B that I can kind of, you know, show off some things that I didn't get to show on TV, you know.
Yeah, no matter how much the world tells her not to, she just keeps pushing on.
Innit? Just keep going.
That's how you make the money, though. If you were trying to get someone hooked on the album, though, what would be the gateway track? Like, what's the hook? Which one's going to draw people in for you?
I think it really depends on what you want to listen to or what your vibe is. But for me personally, the ones that I find myself putting on repeat are Spellbound, when I want to, you know, maybe chill out, and light something, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it's that. I don't want to promote that though, obviously, to anyone. Anyway, let's move on swiftly. I also like In His Eyes, which is a gorgeous love track. Yeah, they're my two favorites. But yeah, it kind of depends on the vibe. But that's why I love the album, because every kind of song has a slightly different vibe, but it all still somehow feels cohesive with the instruments that I've chosen and the editing that me and Kieran Armitage, the producer, kind of went through for, you know, a 4 or 5 month period we worked on the album for. So yeah, but yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
I really enjoyed the sort of Kesha moment you have on there, where it's like £6 fame. Like, was that an intentional Kesha reference? Or because that's probably my favorite song off the album as well. So.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. Do you know what? That was kind of one that I wrote when I was about 12. That was one of the youngest ones. And that was all about me kind of like wanting just like to be famous and just want to be a celebrity. And that was kind of all I really cared about. And then, you know, that song really focuses on my teenage loves and goals, and, you know, wanting to just go on Grindr and spend all my time on there when I was a teenager, you know. Just unhealthy habits is that entire song's purpose. But yeah, I really appreciate that, so thank you.
To be fair, for me, because I'm not massive on the R&B vibe, it was the sort of thing where the tracks that stood out more to me is where it just is a chill out with a piano. Like, what is it, Banknotes Will Burn? I was just like, oh, okay, this is one I can get behind, because it's so it's so sort of subdued, I think, with a lovely message. And I was just like, okay, this is stuff I can get behind. And I quite like that. And then obviously the title track is that's where you go, okay, cool, we'll put a bit of a dancey thing on this, and we'll go, you know, we'll go a bit concept album kind of thing at the beginning and the end. And, you know, and I quite like that it's got like different faces on the album.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, that's kind of always been my drag, and I think that's why I wanted to focus on that a lot, and especially the motif with like the eyes, like you say, the 3 eyes. Like, I feel like I've always kind of been a bit of a shapeshifter, and I feel like that's what me and Charity kind of share in common as well. And I think that's part of the reason why we initially even connected on set on Drag Race. I feel like we both kind of have always been shapeshifters and creatives, and I think we recognize that in each other. But yeah, I really appreciate it, because that has been, you know, something that was my intention behind the album, and I'm glad that comes through. So yeah, I appreciate you saying that you connect with it. But yeah, I hope that people listen to it and give it a chance. And if you haven't heard it, yeah, please go stream it on Spotify and Apple Music and all the other places you can hear it. Yeah, all for free as well. So, you know, enjoy the 40 minutes of music that I made this year.
You get to do the Rue thing and just be like, available on iTunes.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly.
Girl. Oh, hello there. I'm the Velvet Snatch. Now, as you know, I'm obviously a dom top, but for all you naughty little bottoms out there, I'd like to tell you about these new bottom supplements from Friend of Dorothy. They make getting clean down there just a little bit easier. So whether you're preparing for a special someone, several special someones, or just sliding down a bar stool out of your tree on poppers, Friend of Dorothy have you covered. Check out their web store today by searching for Friend of Dorothy Store and use the code GURL15, that's GURL15, for 15% off selected products. I'm the Velvet Snatch, and I'm a friend of Dorothy. Girl.
Naturally, you've both done many interviews about Drag Race by this point, but do either of you have like an exclusive or memorable story from behind the scenes.
There was an episode after I'd been eliminated, where we came home. We went back to set. The set was home at that point. We're spending all of our time there. We only went back to the hotel rooms to sleep in little holes. And then, that's a lie. It's a joke. And so we went to the set and we were watching them do the comedy show, the comedy challenge. They were all on stage doing like the roast, and they were supposed to be roasting everybody in the room and stuff. And I walked in, and it was this moment that I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad that I'd been eliminated at this point, because Kathy Burke was one of the guest judges on this episode. She was sat behind the judges table already. So we got a chance to kind of like spend a little bit of time with her and have a little chat with her and have a laugh with her, which was honestly like one of my best highlights of the whole show. And at this point, Michelle called me over and she said, Charity, come here. So I went over to her and she said, I just want to let you know, I get you. And she was like, I do get you. And so it was just this moment of like validation that I felt like I had never gotten from the judges at any point. So it kind of like let me move forwards from this like dark place that I'd been in since being eliminated, about like feeling like my drag and my message didn't come across, and like what I stand for wasn't wanted, and what wasn't listened to. So yeah, that was kind of like a reassuring and heartwarming moment for me from filming Drag Race.
That's so sweet.
That's cute.
It's really nice.
That's really nice. That's lovely, that.
Yeah, everyone seems to think that Michelle, like, everyone's like, oh, Michelle hated you, didn't she? I'm like, honestly, no, Michelle liked me the most out of all of the judges. Like, Michelle was there. She saw me. And you know what it is? Because, like, my drag comes from a place of feminism and, like, of fighting misogyny and trying to, like, broaden the box that, like, we're putting women in by parodying them in stereotypical ways. You know, I think it's our responsibility to do that as the queer community who rely on female allies so much, and as the queer community who are fighting for people to self-identify no matter their appearance. Like, who are we to say that, like, you don't look woman enough because you've got hairy legs, or you don't look this, or you don't look that, you know? Because and here's another scoop. I was told that I had 2 hairy legs on Drag Race, you know? I was shouted at on that runway about the hairy legs that I had on the stage, and that's not okay, you know? What does that then mean for women around the world, young girls around the world watching the show who don't want to shave their legs or don't want to fit into that box that straight men have been oppressing women with for generations? So, you know, that's kind of where I come from with my drag. And I was worried that message didn't come across and that, like, it wasn't heard, you know?
No, I think that's really good. And I'm really glad that it was Michelle that got you out of everyone. But Anubis, like, can you think of a good memory between yourself and Charity? Or have you immediately just wiped them out of your mind following this?
They're creating new ones on tour.
I've got an incredible anecdote from myself from when I was 11, but
That's it.
I'm only messing. No, I do have a Charity story. I'm trying to think of the first time we met, because that's kind of something we've never talked about. But just to give Charity proper praise whilst we're here, because I remember kind of hearing, you know, that she was going to be on season 3, and I remember kind of almost being starstruck by her when we met. And I feel like everyone on my season felt that about Charity. Like, she just had this. She still does, obviously, but she just had this presence, and I was like, oh my God, like, who is this? Like, I've heard of her before, and I, you know, followed her for a little bit before we started filming. But it was a real treat to meet an artist that just kind of was totally authentic and raw and so daring with their drag. I'd never really seen anything like that, especially, like, you know, it's fab in Brighton and there's so many different types of drag, but Charity's someone that I feel like always has got an idea and she pushes it to the max, and she's really inspired me in our friendship to do that with my drag as well. And that's kind of just something I wanted to mention. I don't know why, but I just wanted to give you your praise. I feel like we talked about me in the album a little bit, and I just wanted to say that about you. But
it's so sweet.
Praise as well. You deserve all the praise as well.
I remember when the Meet the Queens came out for season 3, and everyone was just like, "What the fuck is that?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, you don't know Charity Case yet." Like for the people that didn't, and then it just has that look, and it was just so iconic that everyone else is like just glamour, and you're just like, I don't know. I always thought it looked like one of the fire monsters from Labyrinth, you know.
Exactly.
And I was just kind of going, "Okay, that is a serve," because what the fuck.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm proud of what I showed on the show, and thank you, Anubis. I really appreciate that. You know, I feel like for a long time before the show, I'd worked really, really hard on like my reputation and my career, and like building myself a profile and in the drag scene in the UK, and doing it through like online and through the press, and you know, like going on Drag Race was kind of like a big decision for me, because you know, I knew I was kind of giving an opportunity to the producers or to people to show me in a certain light, or to maybe like, you know, do me dirty in some way. So it was always like a question for me. And, you know, in some ways that's kind of what happened. That's kind of what I feel like happened. But in other ways, I'm really, really glad that I still got to showcase my work to more people, and like I said, broaden the horizons in the mindsets of so many more people of what drag can be. And that was my goal, and I think I achieved that without kind of like breaking my morals and what I stand for, which I wasn't willing to do, and I will never be willing to do. You know, like my drag is political and it's emotional, and it comes from a deep place. So, you know, sometimes it takes going through an experience to realize that maybe it's not the right place for you. That's the conclusion that I came out with at the end. That, you know, like it's not a place for my drag. Like what I do really doesn't fit into Drag Race anyway. Like I don't pretend to be funny characters in sitcoms. I don't, you know, pretend to sell products that I've just made up. I don't do the scenarios that they're asking me to do. I don't pretend to be in a girl group. Like, you know, sometimes I vomit in a glass and drink it on stage, or like stick a paintbrush up my arse and paint a picture with it on stage. Like I do different things to what they want me to do.
I mean, I'd like to see the reaction on a runway to that, maybe. You know, it's just imagine it, just Sophia Lespexter just sitting there.
Shaking.
The reaction is all you would see, because the BBC would not show any of it.
Yeah, that's it. I think that definitely would get Ginny Lemoned, I think, that whole thing.
So yeah, I've come to terms with my experience now. It was a long time ago, and you know, I've lived a life like apart from that. Like I've done lots of other stuff in my life that also was really nourishing and fabulous. And you know, I'm at uni now. I'm studying fine art, and I don't want to be doing drag forever. Like I'm loving it right now, and I've loved it ever since I started. But you know, I want to be doing something else as well. So like it's all about phases for me, and like what I'm enjoying and what I'm not. So yeah, we'll see where I end up.
No, it's fantastic. Well, to be fair, while we're talking about you two embracing your art and doing it how you want to do it, let's talk a bit more about this tour.
Yeah, so Nightmare Before Christmas tour. Very good choice, I would say, because, you know, you two both embrace what people call alt drag, but I don't really think it's alt drag. It is just drag. It's only referred to as alt because of what is publicly known as drag.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say my kind of drag is what this tour is going to be. You know,
Oh, thank you. That's very sweet.
What can we expect? Give us some scoop. You know, we're going to be promoting it. We want people to come to the shows, especially the one that we're going to be at Newcastle. What's coming? You know, let us know.
It is an extravaganza show of many, many different things. So I know that I can speak for myself. I don't know how much you want to reveal, Charity, but I will be serving up some killer vocals on this tour. Almost kind of doing a burlesque cabaret set, kind of like flashback to the 1930s in New York in a jazz bar. That's kind of the vibe that some of the show is. So you get a kind of sneak peek at my vocals and me kind of properly showing off my voice, which I haven't done since the show, or ever really. I guess you've never seen that,
well,
but
I mean,
in my head,
I should have mentioned it with your album. Your voice is fantastic. Like it's, you know, it's the fact of, wow, well done. So that is going to be a high point of the tour.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. I'm excited to like kind of go back to my jazzy kind of fun campy vocals, because I feel like this year's been quite serious with the pop and the ballads, so I'm excited to just have fun, like pure camp fun. And yeah, I'm serving up some killer outfits. We've got me and Charity are making our outfits this week, and we're actually having a photo shoot this weekend, so you guys are going to see some new content very soon. But yeah, we initially thought of the tour because we wanted to do something that was kind of inspired by Tim Burton and his creations, so we're definitely touching on that. I know that I'm going to try and incorporate some Coraline. I don't don't want to say too much about what you want to do in case you don't want to say it, but it's going to be full of surprises, tricks and treats for sure.
I'm just waiting after you've said all that. Charity's just going to be like, I'm going to throw up in a glass.
Yeah,
Push my ass.
well, you'll get some Christmassy surprises from me, and it's all about variation. That's what I'm going to say. Not all of us can sing, but some of us will try, and I'll be bringing some fabulous looks, and we have some interesting segments and ideas going on. So yeah, we're really, really excited to bring it, and I think it's going to be an opportunity to showcase what we do, like what we enjoy to do, and yeah, an opportunity for us to actually just have some fun on stage together. You know, I think like it's really enjoyable performing with someone that you love and that you care about, and I'm really, really excited to make this happen with Anubis out of every queen that I know. So yeah, we're gonna take over the country and oh gosh, I want to say like infect people's minds, but I don't think that sounds very good, does it, nowadays?
I don't think we'll sell many tickets with that.
Since the pandemic,
We'll sell them to a few people.
Yeah, we would.
Yeah,
specific ones, but you know, it'll do.
Yeah, but yeah, we're gonna have a good time, and we're actually like driving around the country from stop to stop as well. So it's gonna be like going on an actual tour ride, like a road trip situation. And yeah, we can't wait to show you what we've got planned. We're gonna have duets and solos and maybe even a puppet or two.
Because everybody loves puppets.
Hey, getting right in there.
I hate myself.
So is there anything you're both looking forward to for being on tour? Any cities you're looking forward to going to that you've not been to before or anything like that?
Yeah, well, we are opening in London, which is always such a camp time. I think that's kind of the first major place I performed in drag before Drag Race was Heaven. And I just remember that kind of feeling like a real poignant moment in my early drag career when I was a little teenager. And then, doing Drag Race, I feel like London's always been such a buzz performing in, so I'm really excited to start the tour there because obviously it's Charity's home now too. And then we close in Brighton, so obviously them two shows are our hometowns and our cities. But I mean, the places we're going to really are all the locations of venues that me and Charity have both performed in before, either together or separately, on the UK tour for Drag Race Season 3. And yeah, I feel like all of the cities that we've chosen for this tour are incredible audiences that we love going to see. Especially up in Scotland, I just did my Rocky Horror tour there for Halloween, and that audience is always so electric. So I'm really excited to just travel around, because we haven't done this since last year as well. So it's fun to kind of be able to travel together. It's like a little mini holiday, but we just have to kind of put lipstick on every day in between.
It's a very specific kind of holiday, I think.
Yeah, very. I'm very excited for up in Liverpool and Manchester, and even in Newcastle and Cardiff. Honestly, I'm very excited for all of the shows. All the venues are amazing venues that, like you say, we've either worked with before. We're at John the Unicorn in London, which is a gorgeous pub in Peckham, and like lovely owners, and I've worked there before a few times. So it's just really nice to work with people that we've worked with in the past and to, feel supported on this venture of like producing a show together. Because like I say, it's hard work and it's not something that we've put on individual shows and we've done things like that, but this is a much bigger scale. So yeah, it's going to be a fabulous journey, we hope.
But not to leap too far ahead, but in 2024, do you have any plans lined up for after the tour? Anything that you're looking forward to?
So I'm planning on going back to Brazil in February for Carnival, which is something that I'm very excited about.
Wow.
Obviously I have uni still going on, so that I'm not that excited about, to be honest, because it's like lectures and like essays now.
Just
But
go
the
in
first year was
drag.
really fun.
Just liven it
Yeah,
up. Just
the first year was so fun. Like I did sculptures and painting. But now I've got to do art history and art context and stuff. So it's just that's all a bit, but that's all a lot. But it's all for my own benefit, So yeah, I'm looking forward to going to Rio for Carnival.
That's it. Rough with the smooth.
So yeah, for me, I mean, what my kind of main focus on for this next year is I'm going to be venturing into a slightly kind of I don't want to say different career, but a slightly different avenue or perspective of the career that I've kind of have carved out for myself. Don't want to give away too much, but yeah, just kind of it's going to mainly be about the voice next year, not just music, but voiceovers and voice acting and cartoons and animation, and that's kind of what I'm venturing into now as well. I'm kind of exploring my artistic side with what I want to do in that realm, because it's always as well been another thing that I want to explore at some point. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that, and also there probably will be some new music. But yeah, what I'm really focused on is trying to sort out a clever DragCon plan, because this year was lovely, but very sweaty. I mean, what is going on with that? So I'm just trying to figure out some safe light bulbs that won't, completely take my face off in 2 minutes flat. And putting all that together, which is very exciting.
No, it sounds very exciting. Now, thank you so much for coming on the show and chatting to us. Is there anything else that you'd like to promote while you're here?
Oh,
we have kind of covered all of it, I feel, but
just come and see us on tour. It's going to be a fabulous time. It's going to be a wondrous event to remember, full of nightmares and dreams and all sorts of sexy, wonderful things. So we would love to see you there. You can get your tickets at nightmarestour.eventbrite.com. And we hope to see you somewhere across the country. There's also a meet and greet, so you can get a photo with us in some fabulous looks. And yeah, I hope to see you there. And I'm sure Anubis wouldn't mind seeing you there as well.
Well, I wouldn't mind it, but it would be slightly inconvenient. But I guess I could make it for the right price. So, but yeah, see you there. Please grab your tickets, and if you want to follow me and follow Charity, you can find us on all socials at Charity Kase, which is charity and case with a K, and at Anubis Finch for all of my stuff. So do it, have fun, and explore yourself.
Explore yourself.
I think that's after the gig, maybe. That's that's if you haven't found anyone at the gig. Yeah.
Whenever you like, the ticket price is, what it is, so you get your money's worth.
As long as you've got a paintbrush, that's what's important, right?
Yeah, that's
exactly. I know.
Get yourself to B&Q, and obviously your album Rebirth is available on iTunes and all good music providers.
Exactly. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thotter Stu, do you have anything that you'd like to promote?
We shall be at that gig. We'll be at the Newcastle gig at Bobby's, minus obviously Glenn, who is going back to his second home. We will be at Grand Can. We're shipping. Look, sometimes we have to ship him off and get rid of him for a few days. Just everyone needs a break sometimes.
It's like the Fountain of Youth. He regenerates his twinkdom when we send him over there.
You're not wrong. Honestly, the twink glow when he gets back from Grand Can, it's a different thing, isn't it?
It's called
it's all those vitamins. It's all those vitamins.
Yeah.
Hold on, vitamins with air quotes right there.
All you have to do is go downstairs in Bunga and yell bukkake, and then suddenly everything goes on your skin and you're a lot younger.
We'll have a bit of protein.
A little bit of protein.
It's an interesting beauty regime, but it is one. So
it works. This skin is flawless. Yeah, we will be at Bobby's Newcastle, which also sponsors our podcast, so we will see them. And then we will be at DragCon UK 2024 at the London XL, and we will also be at Totally Drag in May next year.
Bloody hell,
That's all my plugs for now.
I mean, I'm almost worried to ask Glenn what he wants to promote right now about alternative beauty methods. But
well, I guess we'll go on the line of bukkake, and we'll start with our lovely new pals, friend of Dorothy. So if you are looking for any wonderful supplements to spice up your sex life, pills to help make the cleaning process easier, or to get more skincare on your skin, you can go to Friend of Dorothy store and also use the code GURL15. That's GURL 15, where you will get 15% off selected products. In addition to that, there's the Hadrian Cup coming up in March, I think, this year, with my lovely Newcastle Ravens, one of the biggest LGBTQ plus inclusive sporting events in the country. I will argue it's probably the biggest one going and the only one going. So if you're into touch rugby or rugby union, please give Newcastle Ravens a follow and pop along to that as well.
Amazing. And as for myself, you can go to thevelvetsnatch.com, which never gets updated because I'm lazy, or my Instagram, thevelvetsnatch. And we have the Drag Castle Panto on the 17th of December at Prohibition Bar in Newcastle, which is Peter Pan meets Rocky Horror. It should be quite fun. Tickets are limited, so check it out. It's available on Eventbrite or by going to dragcastle.co.uk, I think. But yes, thank you, dear listener, for tuning in. Tune in next time where we'll have some more fabulous guests. Let's sign off in the best way we know how with the Nightmare Before Christmas tour coming up with a lovely goodbye cackle. 3, 2, 1.